There's a version of you that doesn't exist yet.
A version that wakes up before the sun.
A version that doesn't negotiate with weakness. A version that terrifies the person you are right now. You've felt it. In those quiet moments when you're alone with your thoughts. When you see someone who's made it, someone who's built something real, and you wonder, why not me? The answer is simple, but you're not gonna like it. You've been lying to yourself. Every day you say tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll start. Tomorrow I'll be different. Tomorrow I'll finally do the work. But tomorrow never comes. Because when tomorrow arrives, it's called today. And today, you make the same excuses you made yesterday. You know what that feels like, don't you? The weight of wasted potential. The shame that creeps in at night when everyone else is asleep. When you're left alone with the truth that you could have done more. You could have been more, but you chose comfort. You chose the easy path. And now you're here, listening to this, hoping someone will say something that finally makes it click. I'm not here to make you feel better. I'm here to tell you what you already know. You're capable of so much more than this. But capability means nothing without execution. And execution requires something most people will never have. Discipline that borders on obsession. Discipline that looks insane to the average person. Discipline so extreme it becomes your identity. You've never experienced that level of commitment. Not really. You've tried. You've had good weeks. Maybe even good months. But then life happened. Something went wrong. Someone disappointed you. And you used it as permission to quit. That's the pattern, isn't it? Start strong. Fade fast. Make excuses. Repeat. And every time you do it, you lose a little more respect for yourself. Every time you break a promise to yourself, you become someone you can't trust. How do you build a life when you can't even trust yourself to show up? Here's what nobody wants to tell you. Nobody is coming to save you. Not your parents. Not your friends. Not some opportunity that falls from the sky. You are alone in this. And that's the greatest gift you'll ever receive. Because when you realize you're alone, you stop waiting. You stop hoping. You stop looking for permission. You just move. The people who win in life aren't special. They're not more talented. They don't have secret advantages. They just decided that failure wasn't an option. And they built their entire existence around that decision. They don't wake up motivated. They wake up committed. There's a difference. Motivation is a feeling. It comes and goes like the weather. Commitment is a choice. It doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't care if you're scared. It only cares about the promise you made. And every single day, you either honor that promise or you don't. Most people don't. Most people negotiate with themselves. I'll do it later. I deserve a break. Just this once won't hurt. And that's how you lose. Not in one big moment, but in 1,000 tiny choices. The choice to hit snooze. The choice to skip the workout. The choice to waste your evening on things that don't matter. Those choices seem small, but they're everything. Because discipline isn't built in the big moments. It's built in the small ones. When nobody's watching. When there's no applause. When you're tired and it would be so easy to quit, that's where you prove who you are.
Not to anyone else.
To yourself. And right now, if we're being honest, you're proving that you're not ready. You're proving that you're still the person who quits when it gets hard. But you don't have to stay that person.
You can change. Today. Right now. Not tomorrow.
Now. There is a power inside you that you've never fully accessed. A level of strength you didn't know existed.
It's not physical.
It's mental.
It's the ability to do what needs to be done regardless of how you feel.
That's real power. Not forcing yourself once or twice, but doing it every single day. For weeks. For months. For years. Until it's not even a question anymore. Until discipline becomes who you are. Imagine waking up and not having to fight yourself. Not having to convince yourself to do the work. You just do it. Because that's what you do. That's who you are. The version of you that doesn't negotiate. The version that doesn't make excuses. The version that other people look at and think, how do they do it? They don't understand. Because they're still negotiating. They're still choosing comfort. But you've entered a different level. A level most people will never see. Where the pain of discipline becomes lighter than the pain of regret. Where showing up isn't impressive anymore. It's just expected. Because you expect it from yourself. This is where silence becomes your greatest weapon. You stop talking about what you're going to do. You stop posting about your goals. You stop seeking validation. You go quiet. And you work. In the early mornings when everyone else is sleeping. In the late nights when everyone else is scrolling. You work. Not for applause. Not for likes. For yourself. Because you made a promise. And you're the kind of person who keeps promises. Even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. You start to notice something. The people who doubted you stopped talking. The people who laughed stopped laughing. Because results are undeniable. And you're getting results. Not overnight. Not in a week. But over time, the gap between who you were and who you're becoming grows wider. In one day, you look back and you don't even recognize that old version of yourself. The one who made excuses. The one who quit. The one who was afraid. That person is gone. And in their place stands someone unbreakable. Someone who's been through the fire and came out harder. Someone who knows that pain is temporary, but regret lasts forever. You stop fearing discomfort. You start seeking it. Because you know that's where growth lives. In the uncomfortable. In the difficult. In the moments that make you want to quit. That's where you find out who you really are. And you discover something beautiful. You're stronger than you ever imagined. Not because you're special, but because you refused to quit. This is where most people celebrate too early. They have one good week and think they've changed. But you know better now. Real change isn't a week. It's not a month. It's a complete transformation of identity. It's becoming someone new. Someone who doesn't recognize their old excuses. Someone who can't relate to their old habits. Someone who looks at comfort as the enemy. Because you've learned the truth. Comfort is where dreams go to die. Growth lives in the struggle. In the early mornings. In the discipline. in the repetition of doing the same hard things over and over,
until they're not hard anymore.
until they're just what you do.
Your daily routine becomes sacred.
Not because it's fun,
but because it's building something.
every single day you're laying another brick.
Some days the brick is heavy.
Some days you're tired. Some days you don't want to show up.
But you do anyway, because you're not building for today. You're building for 5 years from now,
10 years from now.
for the life you actually want. Not the life that's easy, the life that's worth it. You start to understand time differently. Most people think in days. You think in years. Most people want results now. You're willing to wait, because you know that anything worth having takes time. And you're not in a hurry. You're in it for life. This isn't a phase. This isn't motivation that will fade. This is who you are now. The person who shows up. The person who does the work. The person who doesn't quit. And people will notice. They'll ask you for your secret. And you'll smile. Because there is no secret.
Just discipline.
Just showing up every single day. Just refusing to negotiate with yourself. That's it. That's the whole formula. But most people won't do it. Because most people can't handle being uncomfortable for that long. They need the immediate reward. The quick win. The instant gratification. But not you. You've developed a taste for the long game. You've learned to love the process, not just the outcome. The process itself becomes the reward, because you know that who you become in the process is more important than what you achieve. Achievement is external. Character is internal. And you're building unshakable character. The kind that can't be broken. The kind that gets tested and comes back stronger. The kind that makes you someone others can depend on. Not just others. Yourself. You've become someone you can depend on. And that changes everything. So here you are, at the end of this message, and you have a choice to make. The same choice you've always had. You can listen to this, feel inspired for a moment, and then go back to who you were. Or you can decide that this is the moment everything changes. Not tomorrow. Today. Right now. You can become the person you've always known you could be. The one who doesn't quit. The one who doesn't make excuses. The one who looks fear in the face and moves forward anyway. That person is waiting for you, on the other side of the decision. The scariest level of discipline you've ever seen isn't out there. It's inside you. It always has been. You've just been too afraid to access it, because you knew that once you did, there would be no going back. You'd have to become someone new. Someone who doesn't accept mediocrity. Someone who demands excellence from themselves. Someone who lives at a level most people can't even imagine. That's terrifying. But it's also the only way forward. So make the choice. Stop waiting. Stop hoping. Stop looking for the perfect moment. This is it. This is your moment. Take it and never look back.